Mr. Adekola. Mr. Adekola Ayobami, please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. The Honorable President of Public Office Holder Association of Nigeria, Dr. M.D. Esenyi, the entire leadership structure and members of POHAN, the eminent and distinguished guest speakers, ladies and gentlemen, it is such a great honor for me to be addressing this honorable and esteemed forum today to commemorate the United Nations Public Service Day. I will be speaking today on strategic planning, a panacea to good governance. Firstly, I would like to wish all the past and present public office holders and public servants in Nigeria and all over the world a happy United Nations Public Service Day. Okay, I believe strongly that there will be no good governance at any level of government without efficient public service. The efficiency and the capacity of all categories of public office holders, political office holders, or even career professional holders to deliver good governance in our country will be greatly enhanced when public policies, programs, and administration are guided by enduring strategic vision, strategic planning, strategic management, and strategic implementation. Today, I'll be speaking on strategic planning. Okay, we need visionary leaders and strategic thinkers in public service to initiate and deliver good governance to our people. According to John Nassibitz, strategic planning is worthless unless there is first strategic vision. So strategic planning at its foundation is rooted in strategic vision. Even the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So what is strategic planning? Strategic planning is founded on a vision, like I said earlier. This vision identifies long-term goals, where we want to be as a country, and the comprehensive steps necessary to achieve these goals. How to get there. This vision must incorporate the concerns and the future expectations of major stakeholders in the country. And let's check out some of the facts about strategic planning. It is not a wishful thinking. It's not a political statement. Strategic planning is proactive. It is not reactive. A clear example is the COVID-19 pandemic handling by most governments all over the world. There were no plans. And when the virus struck, we all know what's happened the past 1 year, where countries have to struggle, the government have to struggle to actually respond to the pandemic. In Nigeria, in South Africa, in United States, there were no planning. So it is actually proactive. So there were no plans to respond to the pandemic, and we saw what happened. It is my hope that governments all over the world will come up with strategic plans to prevent or to handle future pandemics, which look like it is inevitable anyway. Strategic planning is dynamic. It's responsive, it is responsive to prevailing context. It sets clear path for the future, while also allowing vision to mature and change as time passes. It has power to transform today's vision into tomorrow's realities. Strategic planning adopts a circular approach rather than linear approach. It has this inbuilt, monitoring mechanism to check whether the plannings are working or if they are not working, so that you can actually, adjust the plan. It is not your traditional cause and effect progression. Rather, it requires a holistic approach to problem solving, including having interrelated perspectives at the bigger picture. Strategic planning can help the government to achieve its long-term vision by setting up goals and objectives in a systematic and incremental manner. It allows the government to take a look at the present situation, where we want to be in the future, and which steps we need to take to get there. A well-developed strategic plan should be flexible, it should be dynamic, it should be responsive, and it should include a well laid out policy direction. It should have implementation strategies and the action and benchmark for the implementation, and also monitoring and evaluation framework. You expect a strategic planning that is going to be effective to have the expenditure framework too. Why do we need strategic planning? Well, it creates a roadmap for success and good governance. Now, as public office holder, one of the major objectives is for you or for me as a public office holder to create good governance, to deliver quality service to our people. You need strategic planning to be able to create a roadmap for that success. According to Pablo Picasso, our goals can only be reached through the vehicle of a plan. There is no other route to success. So, for us to be successful in delivering services to our people, quality service to our people, to deliver good governance, we need a solid and effective strategic plan to do that. So another reason why we need strategic planning is that it creates opportunities for public office holders to build a lasting legacy for the citizens. So if you want the posterity to be kind to us, we need to have strategic plan, which creates opportunity for us to start doing something about the future. According to Alan Lekin, planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. Maybe the most important reason why we need strategic planning is that there is no other alternative. The only alternative to strategic planning is strategic failure. In the word of the great philosopher, one of the founding fathers of the United States of America, Benjamin Franklin, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So we really need to have that attitude of not getting or starting projects without, as a country, without having a solid strategic plan in place. Therefore, we can look at strategic plan as the bedrock, as a panacea for good governance, because while strategic planning is not an end in itself, it is a means to an end, and that end is public service. Let's look at strategic planning in public service in Nigerian context. Historically, in Nigeria, various strategic plans by different governments are called national development plans, and they are usually branded by each successive regime. Some of these development plans I'm going to highlight here. As early as 1962, we have the first National Development Plan, and that was instituted by the Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, and that's go on to 1968. We have second National Development Plan in 1970 to 1974. It's worth noting that these two development plans came during the troubled time of our national history. We had coups, counter coups, and then we have about 30 months civil war. Then in 1975, during the government of General Gowon, we have third National Development Plan, then the fourth National Development Plan during the Second Republic, where we have Alhaji Shehu Shagari as the president. In 1985, we had a military president, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, who came up with the perspective plans. And those also have some other economic plans like structural adjustment program, you have SFEM, second tier foreign exchange markets. All these are strategic plans made by the government. And then during the government of General Olusegun Obasanjo, we have National Economic and Empowerment and Development Strategy, NEET. This was replicated in the 36 states as seats, and the same government instituted Vision 2020. That's General Olusegun Obasanjo. Other development plans that we have in the country was transformation agenda by Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Then during President Yaradua, we have 7-point agenda, which run concurrently with the UN Millennium Development Goals. Even General Sani Abacha had a development plan, Vision 2010, and the current President Muhammadu Buhari, have Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP. So why am I saying this? All these development plans were put in place. But the question is, did they deliver the good governance that we need? So I also want to talk about one key institution that was founded in 1979 in Nigeria. That was the establishment of National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies. And the aim of this institute was to provide the country with strategic thinkers, strategic planners, strategic managers in military, public, and private sectors. Many alumni of this prestigious institute are our illustrious and accomplished compatriots. They certainly did well for themselves. But I've got some thought-provoking questions here. The issue is, why did this National Development Plan fail? Did our the MNI, the graduates of the NPISS, did they make positive strategic impact on the governance, on the lives of citizens? If they did not, why not? Is this the country they dream of as leaders? What went wrong? So, while I was preparing for this speech, I came across the Daily Times of 1976, precisely March 29, 1976, with a screaming headline, Lagos Traffic Defies Solution, 1976. So 45 years later, I saw another headline, that was May 10, 2021, of this day, which talked about the same problem, the intractable Apapa traffic gridlock. The question is why? We're talking about, I'm just picking this as an example, the traffic situation in Lagos. I couldn't believe that it has been there since 1976. And now the same thing is still, if not worse, the same problem is still in Lagos. So the question is, was there a strategic plan to address Lagos traffic problem? If there was, it certainly didn't work. So this will lead me to another part of my speech, is why is it that this strategic planning not working? Why didn't they work? So reason why these plans, the national development plans, why did they fail? Because we said strategic plan is the panacea to good governance, but we in Nigeria, we have good governance, we have strategic plans which did not deliver good governance. Why? So research has shown that most of these development plans, they lack adequate feasibility studies. There were no stakeholders engagement, no citizens buy-in, no regular progress review, no scorecard assessments. Some of the programs were run disjointedly and parallel to each other, though they have similar objectives. Other reason was, please hold on. Other reason was lack of political will. And please just give me some second. Okay. Okay, thank you. Other reason were lack of political will, abandonment by successive governments. It must be noted that all strategic and development plans in Nigeria are vulnerable to political disruption, like coup, counter-coup. Ideally, government is supposed to be a continuum, but each time we have a new government, they abandon the previous plans and they come up with their own plan, just to carve out their own personal identity. So other challenges to effective monitoring and evaluation of strategic planning in Nigeria include lack of access to data from the government ministry and parastatals. Data moves slowly in government ministries and in government parastatal, and sometimes these are not readily accessible or even available at all. So I would like to see whether I can share my screen. I want to show the elements of a successful strategic plan, because we need that to deliver good governance. Kindly oblige me. I need to see whether I can share it. Okay, I will quickly highlight the elements of a successful strategic plan. Yes, the first thing is that we need to know where we are now. And once we realize where we are, we need to do quickly SWOT analysis, identify our strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. Once we do that, we develop our goals. What result do we want? We can then formulate our objectives. What services must be provided for us to achieve these goals? Then we need to develop strategies to to achieve these objectives. How do we want to do it? Then we need to come up with action plan. How are we going to do it? Then we need to develop a monitoring system that is going to show whether our plan is working. How are we doing? Are we meeting our goals? If we are not meeting our goals, then we need to go back to our action plan and then reevaluate and reassess the goals and strategy as necessary. If we are meeting our goals, we go to the future vision and where we define where do we want to be in X years' time. It must be noted also that these whole steps need to be guided by mission, a well-defined mission that has been communicated to the citizens and to the stakeholders. This mission statement must articulate the purpose and the plan of government. We also need a value system that will indicate what is important and the foundation for all other activities. So, and the entire strategic plan, because it's circular in nature, need to be reevaluated every single year. Well, I recommend every year for the plan to be reevaluated. Okay. As I want to conclude, I want to call on all public office holders to prioritize strategic planning in their sphere of influence, in their ministries, in their parastatals. They need to prioritize strategic planning. If truly we care about good governance and quality service delivery, we will not do anything without having an effective strategic plan in place. One of the key objectives of POHAN is to sensitize public office holders and servants to embrace and commit to good governance. This will be achievable when public office holders at the 3 levels of governments, federal level, state level, local government areas level, understand the necessity of strategic planning in delivering good governance. So, as I end this, I want to leave you with the wise words of great Mahatma Gandhi. He said, and I quote, he said, be the change you want to be, be the change you want to see in the world. As public office holders, you need to be the change you want to see in the world. That word resonates, and it comes with responsibility for you to be the change you want to see in the world. So there are 3 kinds of people, and I want to ask, those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened. So where do you belong? May God bless POHAN. May God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Wow. Wonderful presentation from Dr. Adekola there. We have been well educated on the strategic planning as a very strong panacea to national development.